Hi everyone, my name is Faith and I am a dietetic intern at Montclair State University, and today we're going to be making soft chicken tacos. So right now I have the chicken cooking with the vegetables, and I'm going to start with fresh guacamole, and then I'll explain what we use for the chicken, and we're going to go into the taco seasoning. So for this, what I use to season the chicken and the vegetables, which I'll show you in a little bit, is a taco seasoning with onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, ground cumin, dried oregano, and then a red chili powder, and then some salt and pepper. So then to go into the guacamole, I'm going to take my avocado, and to tell if it's ready, you could feel the firmness. If it's soft, you could feel that it's kind of soft. Your fingers could squish into it. And then also another trick is that if the avocado does have a stem, if you could peel it off easily, then it should be ready. This one is not ready, so it's really hard to peel off. But if it were ready, it would be easy to just peel it off. So that's just a little tip. So we're gonna just start by cutting our avocado. And then here we're gonna start with the guacamole, and then we're just gonna cut that in half. We could twist it. We could use our spoon to easily scoop out the avocado. And it's already soft, so it should be like really easy to scoop this out. And then we're gonna place that onto our cutting board. Turn it around so that the flat side is down, so that we don't hurt ourselves when we are cutting it. I'm gonna take this side out. Usually you could put a knife through the pit, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna just scoop it out and cut around it. We have our avocado bits. And avocados are great because they add that fatty acid, that omega-3 fatty acid to our diet, which is great for our health. And they're so easy to add into like taco dishes, on crackers, bread, for avocado toast, a whole bunch of different recipes and different ways you can use it. And here we're gonna use it for that guacamole. So I'm just gonna slice them up roughly, just so it's easy for us to mush it later. So if your avocado is very, very soft, you could just skip this step and just put it right into the bowl and mash it with a fork. This is a little slightly firm, so I'm gonna just cut it a little bit so it's easier. And here I'm gonna use this spatula and then put it into our bowl. Put that all in there. I love avocado, so put the whole thing. But you could decide how much you'd like on your taco. So I'm gonna mush everything with a fork until everything is very smooth. And with the guacamole, we're just gonna add tomatoes to it, but you can also add different ingredients as well, depending on the recipe you're using. Right now, we're just gonna add the tomatoes, but you can also add like onions. You could add different seasonings, but we're just gonna do salt, pepper, and the tomatoes to keep it simple, because we have all that flavoring in our chicken for our tacos. So and we're just gonna keep mushing it again until that consistency is nice and smooth. Beautiful. And then see, everything is nice and smooth. And then I'm just gonna add my tomatoes. Add a few of these. And I had them already chopped in advance. And depending on how chunky you like your guacamole, you could do them very chopped, like diced, or you could do them like a rough chop. Again, you could add onions to this, different seasonings. We're just gonna do salt and pepper. So let me just rinse my hands real quick. And then we're gonna do salt and pepper. So on the recipe it says 1/4, or you could do it to taste. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit, add some to it. And then we're gonna grab some of that salt. And again, put it in your hand first so you can control how much salt, because if you pour it through the actual container, you might end up putting too much and you can't really take away. So it's better to do little by little, because you could always control that rather than putting a lot by mistake, and then you can't really take it out, and then you end up with a really salty guacamole. So again, I put it on my hand, so the palm of my hand, and I'm controlling how much salt is in here. So you could always put more if needed, but you can't really take it out. So, and you want to mix it. And here again, if you are doing it to taste, you can always try it and see whether you need more salt, more pepper, or another seasoning if you like to add a different seasoning to your guacamole. But here we're just gonna do the salt and pepper. So right here I have it nice and smooth. It's a very smooth consistency with the tomatoes in it. It looks delicious. So a little bit more of the seasoning. And then I'm gonna grab the chicken with the vegetables, and then I'll explain a little bit of how I set that up. And also what we're going to add to the guacamole before I do get into the chicken is our lime. So we're just going to cut that in half. And again, this is to taste. So if you like more lime in your guacamole, you can add more lime. We're just going to do one slice of it. I'm just going to squeeze that juice into there because we don't have too much guacamole, so we don't want it to be too sour either. And again, just mixing it. So here... so it's evenly distributed throughout the guacamole. Okay, perfect. All right, and then to start with the chicken. So what I did here was add a little bit of olive oil and then let that heat up, and then I added the onions, and what I did with the vegetables, I sliced them all up beforehand, and then I chopped the chicken because we do have small tortillas here, so I had to chop them, but you could also do like strips if you have like a bigger tortilla. And we had the seasoning mixed with the onions, and then we put that to start cooking with the olive oil, and then once that was browned and cooked, we added the other peppers, and then we also, on the side while those were cooking, we had the chicken chopped and we put into our bowl, and we added the rest of the seasoning, and we poured all that seasoning, which is right here, into the chicken. And then once everything was cooked, browned, you can start smelling the aromas. It smells really delicious. And then we made the guacamole, and now we're gonna go into the actual assembly. So here we're gonna take our tortilla disc. Again, I have like a really small one, so we're gonna use that. You can also heat up your tortilla disc as well, but we're just gonna keep it how it is right now. We're gonna add a little bit of that filling, making sure to grab a little bit of the peppers, chicken. Have that right here. And then we're also gonna add that guacamole on top. So as much as you'd like to add. Again, I like avocado, I love guacamole, so I added a lot. So put that here. And then as garnish, we're gonna add a little bit of that cilantro. So we have some fresh cilantro right here. And fresh is best for garnish because you get that stronger aroma and then that stronger taste as well. So here. And what I like about this recipe is that it's super easy. And we made the taco seasoning on our own because it allows us to control the sodium content of our seasoning, because a lot of the time when we buy taco seasoning in advance, like already pre-packaged or pre-made, it has a lot of sodium, which we want to be mindful of. So if I made it myself, I was able to control how much salt I actually had in it. So that's really nice, and it's super easy. You just kind of combine all those spices together. And then here we have our taco. So it looks really delicious. It's done, it's ready to eat, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys make it. Please let us know if you do, and thank you all for joining us.